Hey, welcome to this edition of Speaking of Settlements here on the Legal Broadcast Network. I'm Scott Drake, and I welcome my guest, the chairman of the Legal Broadcast Network and the host of Speaking of Settlements, Mark Wahlstrom.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're going to talk about the topic that won't go away as payments started going out last week. It's Vioxx, which the implications continue as the people who went ahead with the deal are getting their money, and there's still a lot coming down the pike.
There is, and really what we're doing, and one of the reasons we want to talk about this is that there is a flood of letters that are now going out from the different law firms. People are going to start getting a portion of the payments, and we hope to have some of the lead attorneys and the people who have worked on Vioxx. But really what we're talking about right now is a lot of people all over the country are going to be getting letters from attorneys, from their law firms, saying that, okay, we're getting to the end of this process, and they're beginning to find out what their reward is, what money they're going to get initially, what additional money may be coming down the road. And the really important thing, and as you know, Scott, my firm is doing a great deal of Vioxx work, Wahlstrom and Associates, but for people who are finding this on the Settlement Channel or on the Legal Broadcast Network, it's important for them to realize that whenever a big mass tort like Vioxx comes down the pike, and you've got 55,000 people who are going to be getting checks, some as small as $5,000, some as large as $800,000, $900,000, is that there's an awful lot of people who are on what are known as governmental aid or need-based programs. Among those, the most well-known is Medicaid. If somebody doesn't have the funds, as we know, nobody in our society really goes without health care. But if you don't have any funds, you qualify for your state Medicaid program. An awful lot of the Vioxx victims are on Medicaid. Many of them are on Section 8 housing, which is basically subsidized or government-assisted housing. Many people are on food stamps. There's been some tragic stories, people who were already sick, who took Vioxx, had heart attacks, strokes, dealing with a lot of difficulties. The thing that they need to be aware of, that their attorneys need to be aware of, that their financial advisors need to be aware of, is that if they take a check even as small as $2,000, $3,000, it can disqualify a large portion of these people from receiving continued health care, taking them off of government-assisted housing. They really have to be careful. And at this point in time, when they start getting those letters and those indications stating what their money is, it's time for them to call or talk with their attorney and locate a qualified settlement advisor or a structured settlement expert or somebody who specializes in special needs trust and Medicare and Medicaid lien resolution. There's a lot of good people out there, but the cautionary item that we want people to be aware of, and we understand this has been a long process with Vioxx. People have a lot of bills. They've got a lot of debt mounted up. They have to be careful not to just say, well, I'll just take the money and I'll pay off my bills, because in so doing, they may actually disqualify themselves from future benefits and put themselves in a worse situation they were in before they actually received the money.
And also expose themselves to tax implications as well.
Well, absolutely. And, the main benefit, I shouldn't say the main benefit, one of the primary benefits that people are not aware of, and it really, one of the reasons we wanted to do this show and begin to talk with people about this, is that everybody has an option. They can take their money in a lump sum of cash, just the way you ordinarily would in any lawsuit or settlement. If you have it, and that money comes to everybody income tax free. This is based on a personal physical injury. The internal tax code, Internal Revenue Tax Code, is extremely clear. There's not going to be any tax implication if somebody takes their award. That money is going to come income tax free. Where the tax issue comes in is many people would like the option of doing a structured settlement. Obviously that's something that my firm does, but there's 585 guys around the country who specialize in structured settlement work. There's settlement advisors and experts in every state. There's people that are affiliated with most of the major law firms that do this who are settlement experts. And if people want to take their money in an installment, to take the money over time in a pension or an annuity, which is really what a structured settlement is, and instead of taking that money and saying, well, I put it in the bank, I'm going to get maybe 3.5% and pay taxes on it, or do I really want to put it in the stock market right now? It's a pretty scary time to be in the stock market. And if we get inflation and rising interest rates, people who buy bonds and treasury bills are going to see those decrease in value. And we all know what's going on with real estate and mortgages.
Right.
It's a scary and difficult time for people to be making decisions. And as I always say to my clients, nobody has won the lottery here. People who are getting these awards, people who are getting these settlements, typically something very dire happened: a heart attack, a stroke, death, continued disability. And we want to be able to take that money, even if it's not a lot of money, and there's never adequate money to adequately compensate people for what they've gone through. Lives have been ruined. People's health has been destroyed. It's an imperfect system, but it's the system we have. It's the settlement that has been put in place. And really what we want to be able to do is work with people to magnify the award and magnify the value of the money they have. And oftentimes a structured settlement annuity is the best way to do that, because you get tax-free income for life if you so choose. You can agree to take some of it in lump sums. You can take some money up front in cash to pay off some of your bills. They're all underwritten by very large, financially stable life insurance companies such as Metropolitan Life, Aviva, Prudential, Pacific Life, Allstate, New York Life. I'm sure I'm leaving a few out, but we're talking about the biggest of the big companies with very high quality and financial ratings. And for a lot of people, rather than having to worry about how to manage it, who to invest it with, that decision of being able to take that money over a period of time is a tremendous opportunity for them.
And talk about the process. Now, how long from getting a letter to actually seeing money in your hands?
Well, I wish I had a firm answer on that, because it really does depend from law firm to law firm and situation to situation. Really what people need to do at this point in time is, because right now nobody really even knows the amount that they're getting. So people are trying to do planning without even knowing whether they're getting $5,000 or $500,000. So it makes it very difficult. But once they do get that dollar amount, or if they have communication now, as we said, notify your firm that you would like the option to do planning and to not send you the money just without you having the opportunity to talk with an expert first. That's the most important thing. I've been told sometime in the next 2 to 4 weeks, people should be able to start getting letters, if not sooner, as to what their actual payment is and what the reward is from the fund. At that point, they notify their firm that they accept the award, that they're not going to appeal it, that they're okay with the amount, and then they either take the funds or they take one of these installment plans, or they put it in a special needs trust if that's to their best interest. I'm thinking we're still looking at least another 4 weeks, maybe 8 to 10 weeks. Nothing ever moves as quickly as they want. We're talking about 55,000 cases processing through this system, and the second people get that letter, the second they hear that settlement, the phones start ringing at all the law firms, and everybody wants an answer immediately. So we know there's a lot of people who are in dire situations. It is going to take a little while, but we really are just about at the end of that road. And the main thing we want people to do is don't let your rush or eagerness for that money put you in a position where you might possibly lose your benefits, or you might possibly give up the opportunity to do a structured settlement. Be in contact with your law firm, talk with your law firm, be proactive, let them know that you'd like to speak to an expert. If they have somebody that they recommend, use them. If they don't have somebody, you can certainly go on the internet. My firm's available, Wahlstrom & Associates, right here in Scottsdale. I certainly can't handle 55,000 cases as much as I would love to. And there's qualified professionals all over the country, and people can find them. And if we can't handle their case, we can certainly refer to someone in their area, a professional near them, that we know would do a good job to assist them.
Well, we hope this helps you out, too. This is a special edition of Speaking of Settlements. My guest is Mark Wahlstrom, chairman of the Legal Broadcast Network, and, of course, from Wahlstrom & Associates, I'm Scott Drake on the Legal Broadcast Network.